wonderful event. Thank you.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Hello and welcome to our real estate show, Real Estate on Track on ITV Gold. It's aired every Friday at 8 p.m. with the repeat telecast on Sundays at 8 p.m. I'm Jyoti Kachru. No, I'm not. I'm Sanjeev Aneja, but Jyoti is not with us today. So I am the host today. This is my first time hosting. So let's see and let's welcome to the show. My name is Sanjeev Aneja. I'm the broker at On Track Realty. And with us, like always, is Alka Aneja. Alka is a top producing realtor. She is also my sister. And she's been doing this for 30 years. Hello,
Yes.
Alka. How are you?
Good, how are you?
So nice to have you. And I'm going to be chatting with you today.
Absolutely, that's
And
nice.
it's going to be a pretty casual talk. Jyoti has questions for us. She leads some questions. We answer some of those. So today I am going to be asking you certain things. We have covered a lot of things in
Yes.
15 episodes.
We have.
So today is 16th episode at this point. It's amazing how much time has gone in.
That's right, time flies when you're having
We
fun.
hope you have been watching the show. We hope you've been learning from it a lot. We hope, educated consumer is our best client. And we hope you are learning enough to make that educated decision when you are buying a home, when you are selling a home, after you bought a home, after you've sold a home. Actually, after you've sold a home, it doesn't matter because now, unless you're buying another home, otherwise you've already made all the mistakes at that point. So today, Alka, we've talked about what to do when you have bought the home, maintenance and all that stuff. What precautions to take when you're buying the home? I'm thinking about selling my home.
Yes.
What is the first thing I should be thinking of, second, third? And let's talk about the process today. Obviously, we'll talk about it together, but let's get you started. I'm the seller and thinking of selling, and I've called you as a local great realtor whose testimonials I've read and everything I've heard very good about.
So my first question to you would be, how long have you lived in the home? The reason why that is important is that if you've lived in the home for less than 2 years, if you move, you may have some capital gains repercussions
So
there.
tell us about capital gains a little.
So capital gains is if you've lived in your home in you have to have lived in your home for at least 3 of the last 5 years to avoid capital gains. So at least 2 years.
Two of the last 5 years.
2 of the last 5 years.
Right,
so at
right.
least 3 years.
So let's
no.
make sure. No. And so let's make sure we are confused. We don't want to confuse the order listeners. So if you have lived in the home for 2 out of last 5 years, you don't have to pay capital gains on your home if you have gains on the home.
right.
So let's clarify it a little bit for our sellers. So for our listeners.
Yes.
So you bought the home in year 2000 and it's 2005 right now. And you've lived in it for 5 years. Your capital gains on your home are zero. You bought your home in 2000 and you sold your home in 2001. If the home price has gone up, you're paying capital gains on.
That's right.
Let's say you bought your home in year 2000. I know we are going way back.
Yeah, why
And-
are we going way back?
Right, just because it was round number was year 2000. So you lived in the home till 2001. You went out of state till 2004, and then you came back and lived in the home till 2007. See, in the last 3 years, you have lived in it for 2 years. There are no capital gains. So what we are saying is, what happens in between doesn't matter.
It doesn't have to be 2 consecutive years.
Exactly.
It just has to be 2 of the last 5 years.
Right. And then the capital gains, what amounts are we talking about that they can avoid?
So if you're a married couple, your exemption is 500,000. If you're single, your exemption is 250,000.
Exactly. And elaborate that for our listeners for a moment.
That if your equity in the house, that the house has gone up significantly, your equity is 250,000 if you're single, you will not be taxed as long as you fall within the rules of the 2 years within the last 5 years. Right?
So when Alka says equity, that means the increase in the value of your home.
Yes.
So let's say the home was 500,000 and now you sold it for 750 and you're single, no capital gains.
Yeah.
You sold it for $1 million, you are married, no capital gains either, because up to 500,000 you pay zero capital gains on.
And it's
but
more-
again, very, very important. It's only on your primary home.
residence.
It does not. Capital gains must and depreciation must be paid on your rental properties.
That's right.
So and what we're talking about is only on your primary home, and you can only have one primary home.
So it's most important in these years because the appreciation on your home has been so strong after COVID. So over if over a long run, the appreciation has not been that strong, and you would have lived in that time period for a longer time. But if you've bought the home in 2020 and you're selling it now, this appreciation has happened so much faster. These numbers are important. So when you called me in to sell your home, my first question would be is, how long have you been here? If you bought during COVID, let's just consider the repercussions before we move forward to anything else.
Right. So again, we don't know if it has gone up that high, Alka, for 500,000.
Not that high, but it has gone up. So we need to discuss repercussions.
Right. So the purpose is, let's say you've lived in your home for 30 years, and the home is now, from you bought it for 100,000, now it's 900,000. That's when we are talking about when it happens a little bit more.
Right.
The second thing about capital gains, a quick reminder, it's 2 out of last 5 years. You have to remember that. So let's say you've lived in the home for 30 years and you rent it out for 4 years. Now you have to pay capital gains.
That's right.
So you must have lived for last 2 out of 5 years.
Yes.
Just because you've lived in a home for 30 years and now you've rented for 5 years does not qualify you for exemption. So be very careful. A lot of sellers will tell us, we want to rent our home. And it's okay if it's not over 3 years. 3 years and 1 day,
You have to pay taxes.
you'll end up paying taxes on all the gains in there.
That's right.
All right. So
That
you
was the
called me,
first-
you've asked me that
Yeah.
question, now what?
And then we go ahead and walk around the house. You want to make sure that your house is in ready condition. So remember, how we live in our home is very different than how a buyer perceives our home, right? A buyer may perceive our home very different. You may love the green walls. You may love the dark colors. But nowadays, the buyer is wanting gray. The buyer is wanting white. There's different colors that are a different sign of the times. So we want to make sure we walk around the house to make sure that all the repairs or anything that we need to get done to get you the best rate of return to sell your home. So you and I will walk around the house, make sure that if there's any repairs that need to be made, are okay to be made now.
But you're walking with the home and pointing all these faults to the seller. Isn't seller upset that you think their home has things that they need?
Well, because it's what you say to them, right? It's if you say this is what's going to get you at the end, what is your return on the dollar?
Right. So what basically, bottom line, what Alka is saying is, when we come to you and tell you things, it's not because we are on the opposite side.
Yes.
We are on the same side as you are. Your goal is to get the highest possible price.
And our goals.
Our goal is to get you the highest possible price, right? Because that's what you're hiring. That's what we're good for. If you're giving your home away, you don't need us. You can hire anybody. Anybody can give the home away.
Right.
We want to make sure we prepare you and get you the best possible price for your home. So when we come and ask you those questions, the reason is we want you to get the best possible price of the home in the least possible time, right?
That's
Same
right, with
goal?
the least amount of hassle.
Yeah.
Right? You want to make sure you make the repairs earlier. And the quicker you make the repairs now, the handyman may be able to come and do the tightening of a valve and do the tightening of some things to get your home ready for sale. But when your inspections happen and you need to do these things, you'll need to hire licensed plumbers, you'll need to hire licensed people to do everything.
Did you notice one thing? Alka, all of a sudden, her volume went down as if she's talking to you. So saying, we want to do this because of... Very nice. I like that.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the camera and looking at as if I'm talking to you guys, which I
Right.
am.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for you so that because when you sell your home 4 times. You sell your home
4 times?
4
What
times.
do you mean?
You sell your home once to the buyer, right? That's normal. Everybody knows that. Then second is you sell your home to the buyer's family. Because all of a sudden, someone from the buyer's family is going to come and they're going to say, oh, now they're coming as a confidant for that buyer. So their job is to find out all the flaws in your home. So they're going to point out every single thing. So we want to make sure that's the least that they have. There's a list that's small for them to say there's flaws. Third is the inspection. Inspector is going to come. It's a third-party inspector hired by the buyer. Now that inspector is working for the buyer. they're going to come and they're going to point out all the flaws. And that list is long.
Right. And many of those flaws, when we live in the home for so long,
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
So don't be upset that the buyer inspector is finding XYZ, because we don't know if the home has termites unless we got the termite inspected. And the funny part is sometimes two termite inspectors may find termites at two different places. If the inspector misses one place by mistake and finds it by other place.
But when
so
I
don't
bought
be
my
surprised.
Home, yeah, when I bought my home, it didn't have termites. And 6 months later, I saw them. And when I spoke to the inspector, he said, Alka, they're bugs. They're underground. They'll come. They weren't there, but they will come. So then we had to get a treatment. Now, you have to be aware of having your own home, but the termite inspector will come and tell you that. Those things are easily handleable, right? A termite treatment can be done. Your fourth person that comes in is the appraiser. Now, the appraiser is going to come in and they look at what money you have spent to upgrade your home compared to the other homes around you. They're looking at, have you upgraded the kitchen? Have you upgraded the bathrooms? Where is your value generated? And where are you getting the money from to make sure that what the buyer has paid, that's what your value comes in. And that's how the mortgage commitment comes in. So when we walk around with you, our walking around means that each of those things are going to be covered, and there's going to be least uncovered during each process. So again, we're your ally in this whole selling process.
What I think, Alka, I hope when listeners are listening to you, you can see the value. The value comes from the right person. There are a lot of people will say, we'll hire a friend, we'll hire our family member who just got the license. All of that is very good and very true, and they may be excellent, so nothing wrong with that at all. But remember, experience brings value. Experience brings the solving problems when they happen. Not all problems can be solved no matter how experienced we are. But being prepared upfront solves many problems to begin with. Good. So what happens then next?
So then we sit down as a team, because again, you're hiring us as a team member. So we sit down with the team and say, okay, out of these things, what do we want to do? What do we not want to do? And then we guide you and we give you our contacts who can come in and work with you to help you put the home on the market.
Good. Excellent. So the tip here again also is, when we are guiding you to price the home, remember, higher you price the home and saying, let's wait for an offer to come, lower the offer will be as the time goes on the market. So number one tip from this show, if we can give to our listeners, is never overprice your home so much that it messes up your value. In fact, purposely underprice your home slightly so that it gets too much attention. Think of it as a buyer. If all of a sudden your realtor called you as a buyer and said, there's a great value home on the market, and 25 realtors call their buyers also all of a sudden, now you have 25 potential people excited to get better value in the market.
That's right.
And when people start competing for your home, your price goes up. That's why there are homes selling on the market, the right price homes selling on the market today for 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200,000 over asking price.
300,000 over asking.
300,000 over asking price. So price it right. The statement many times is, we don't want to give our home away. And no, as good realtors, we don't want you to give our home away. We, in fact, want to create a market for you so that your price is higher than even what you expected. But if we price it wrong, if you think, say, I'm in no hurry, I don't care if my home sells or not, unfortunately, the home will not sell. It will become stale on the market. And then few years later, you're selling or missing out on the right price, unless the market keeps on going up. So let's say the market keeps on going up every year and depreciates 10%, then it's all okay. But who has the crystal ball? And do you really have that time? And do you really know if the price is going to go up the way it has gone up?
Right. And even with today's interest rates, there are people who are paying more than asking price and paying considerably over asking if the home is priced right. So pricing really is the key, but that's a number we all come up with as a team together. So that's never a number that we come up with, it's a number that we come up with together, because at the end, our goal is to make sure that we all win in this transaction.
Right. So now the home is prepared, the home is listed, the home is on the market, the agents are ready to show the home, then what?
Then we start showing the house, and we will give you feedback to see what is happening. What are people saying?
But I would actually, let's go back a little further. So once the home is on the market, it's critical that sellers understand three things.
Yeah.
One, that the home is accessible.
Yes.
See, if your home
Of course.
is not available to show, we cannot sell it. So make sure it's available to show. Make sure it's
key
available
point.
to show at the right times, right?
That's right.
Second thing is get out of the way. See, when a realtor and a buyer comes and you start walking with them all over,
Yes.
and you're saying, hey, this, the buyer does not get the opportunity to see your home the way they want to see it.
Yes.
So if you are at home, because there is no lockbox, greet them, go into the living room, family room, and let them see the home on it.
That's right.
Better yet is if you have a lockbox and you have something to do, go, let them come and see, let them go to see the home without you being at the home. But we understand there's snowing, it's raining, you cannot be out, but at least be out of their way.
Yeah,
Right?
there's a certain amount of apprehension when the seller is home. You don't want to go open up the cabinets. You don't want to intrude because somebody is at home. So there is that ease of seeing the house is not there. So if you can avoid that and not be in the home, that's the best thing to do. Absolutely.
And then when the home is being shown, one other tip that you've given all the time, make it bright, keep the lights
Yes.
on, keep the blinds on, make sure if you just cook the food, the smell is not there,
Yes.
or maybe if you know 20 people are showing the home, don't cook that day, or at least have the windows open. Whatever we do, we are not saying do not live your life.
Yes.
What we are saying is
Just
Think-
modify living your life.
think
a
of
little
the
bit.
other person who may
Yeah.
see somebody may cook the food, it's Indian food, and I love it, but some other person may come and not like that smell.
Yeah.
So what we are talking about is it's not that what we are cooking is wrong, it's that what we are cooking, that smell may not be the best for the person who gets turned off and cannot stand inside the home. If there are pets, dogs, cats, keep them out of the way, because we may love our dog as a family member. The other person may be so scared of the dog.
Yeah, of course.
So-
And you don't know, and at the end, it's an animal, right? You don't know how they feel threatened. If a dog feels threatened by the person coming in, they may bite them or something, and then there's a lawsuit that happens to you.
I'm glad you bring that up. I remember I was in Perth Amboy many years ago. This home was being foreclosed, so the bank called me to go and take a look at the home. And there were tenants, I believe, in that home. So as soon as I rang the bell, there were 3 little puppies, like this little harmless puppies. They started running all the way towards the door, and one bit me.
Oh,
Now, they looked harmless. I did not even think in my lifetime that they would bite. I don't think they came with the intention to bite.
yeah, and I don't think they may have bitten you. They don't realize their own strength. So if they come to love you,
Right.
they don't
So
understand.
the bottom line is they came excited.
Oh God.
They bit me. I was bleeding.
So you had to go get rabies
I had,
shot
to go
now?
I had to go to the doctor right
Oh,
away.
God.
I had to get my shot.
Ah.
It was a liability that wasn't necessary by the owner. Unfortunately, the home was being foreclosed, and I'm not a lawsuit person, and it didn't matter, and I got my injection and all. But imagine it was your dog. Imagine it was somebody's child they bit. And imagine having a lawsuit for no reason
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
So most people don't sue. They understand.
But
there are
it
some people who are
depends,
ready
right?
to
It depends,
sue. But
yeah.
more than that, think about the guilt of somebody being hurt because of somebody that we love unintentionally. Because 100% I guarantee that dog did
Yeah.
not come to bite me at all.
Yeah.
That dog came with excitement. They
Yeah.
ran with excitement
Yeah.
that somebody's at the door.
Yeah.
They probably came to greet me.
Yes.
They probably didn't realize that greeting became a little harder for me.
Yeah.
So do those minor things. These are minor tips, but they mean a lot when you're selling the home. They help sell your home at a better price.
Absolutely.
They help sell your home without liabilities being an issue. Since we're talking about liabilities, if it's snowing outside, either say no to the home
The
showing,
yep.
or make sure your driveway and sidewalk are cleaned and salted and all. You don't want somebody to be falling there and taking a risk for no reason at all.
So, but what I want to say is no matter all the things that we're saying, only one person can buy your home. Our job is to make sure that out of every person that sees, the top winner buys your home and you get the best possible price. So everything is not going to appease every buyer. Everything is not for every buyer. But for that one buyer, everything will add up and they will pay for your home. So just make sure that all of these things lead to that.
Right.
And that's what
I think the lot of tips that you've given today are that.
Yes.
We've prepared the home, we've talked about what should be done, what should not be done. And again, this is now we've led you only today from starting to accepting the offer.
Yes.
And after that, there is a process. Obviously, there's an attorney review period. Your attorney will review the contract. The buyers will do the inspection. The buyers will apply for the mortgage. Same process that we've talked about the buyer thing.
Absolutely.
So it's pretty much the same thing. And at the end, it's the closing day when you get your check and we get our check and the buyers get the home and everybody's happy. One important thing to say here, Alka, that I think it's important. Remember, this is one of your biggest sales. It's probably one of the biggest purchase for the buyers. Make it a happy experience.
Exactly.
There are times when you go to homes and the seller will leave chocolates and wine or whatever. And there are other times you go to home and the seller will remove even the wallpaper because they're so upset with the buyer.
Yeah.
So whatever the other side was, let them be. Make it a happy experience from you. Don't be upset over whatever went wrong during the transaction because of the buyer. It's okay. You move on. We become bigger than whatever it is. And life will become a lot better at that.
Yeah.
Right?
And at the end, you do your good karma and leave them with a happy home. Because that's all you can do, what you can control.
And whenever you're ready to sell, give us a call. Again, you may be listening at areas that we don't cover at all. You may be listening to us in New York. Well, we are happy to guide you and send you a referral of some other agent
Absolutely.
who can help you. We are in Middlesex County. We cover in New Jersey. We cover Somerset, Union. We cover a good
lot
part
of
of
New
New
Jersey,
Jersey.
yeah.
But our offices are in Edison. We have two offices, one on Route 27 in Edison, one on Woodbridge Avenue across Middlesex County in Edison. So we cover north and south end of it. So whenever you're ready, we are here to help you. Our number is 732-494-2211. We've always promised honesty and integrity, and you'll get nothing less than that from our team. That's my promise to you.
And if there's anything that we've not covered and you have a question, feel free to give us a call. I mean, we thought this is what you would want to hear. But if there's something specific to your house, feel free to call us, please.
Very good. Our number and email address is below, as you can see. So give us a call and we'll take it from there. So Alka, tell me about that new home that you've just listed in Edison.
Sure. It's 101 Calvert Avenue East. It's actually very close to Metro Park. It's less than a half a mile. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 1 car garage. It's got Menlo Park Elementary School, Woodrow Wilson.
What price is it?
700,000.
700,000.
Yes.
So give us a call if you would like to have
Absolutely.
a private viewing on it, and we'll help you. We are running out of time. We thank you for tuning in today. If there are any questions you have at any given point, please give us a call.
Absolutely.
Our on-track realty team is ready for you. I'm Sanjeev. This
I'm
is
Alka.
my partner, right-hand sister, Alka Neja. And whenever you're ready, we are ready for you. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you
Goodbye.
for tuning in. Thank you again.